Hi, my name is Steve Clifford, and today we're going to talk about making weight with a Steyr Scout Rifle. Now, when the Scout Rifle concept first came up by Jeff Cooper, he talked about the ideal weight of a Scout Rifle should be no more than 3 kilograms, and that was to include the scope, the sling, and any accessories had to come in under 3 kilograms. Now, in later writings, he said 3.3 kilograms and 3.5, but when Steyr announced that they were going to be coming out with a factory Scout Rifle, Cooper was very explicit that he said that that rifle would come in under 3 kilograms with everything on it. Turns out that wasn't the case. As a matter of fact, it was more like 3.3 kilograms. And then in 2009, they put a heavier profile barrel on it, and it's now, you're lucky if you're at 3.5 kilograms once you put the scope and everything else on it. So, we've all lived with that, and that's okay. It works, and that's fine. But, can we get to a 3 kilogram rifle using a Steyr Scout? Turns out you can, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So first of all, let's talk about this rifle in particular, because everything that we're going to do is skewed a little bit because I shortened the barrel on this. This is no longer a 19-inch barrel, this is a 16-inch barrel. I run a suppressor. We'll talk about that, and I'm going to show you even with your 19-inch barrel you can do this. So this is a typical configuration for a Scout Rifle. It has a Leupold VXR Scout scope on it, which by the way is a phenomenal scope, and whoever the guy is at Leupold that decided to discontinue this scope should be hung up by his fingernails. That was a bad decision. This is a really good scope. Can't get it anymore. The sling that is on it is an Andy's leather sling. Andy makes a great sling. Now when he ships the sling to you, it includes a brass buckle on it and a lot of extra leather. First thing you need to do is use it for a while, get it stretched out, get it fit, and then replace that black brass buckle with a Chicago screw and trim off the excess leather. You'll save yourself an ounce or two just by doing that. So that's already been done to this. So let's weigh this rifle with the one empty magazine in it and show you what this is starting out at. Put it on my handy little postal scale here, and it is 3.55 kilograms, 7 pounds 13.5 ounces. So that's a lot of weight. That's not quite 8 pounds, but you can see 8 pounds from here. Okay, so let's start off by addressing the scope. So this scope, as good as it is heavy, and it has 30 millimeter rings, which add weight. So we're going to switch this out to a different Leupold. This is the Leupold VX2. Now the VX2 was also discontinued, but at least with this one, they replaced it with the VX Freedom. The VX Freedom is the exact same scope, it's just rebranded. Comes in at 9.3 ounces. It's very lightweight. I'm using Weaver quad lock rings, which are very, very lightweight rings. So that is going to help you. So let's pull off the leather sling and weigh it with this is the Wilderness nylon sling. You might have a little bit of problem getting one of these, but this is their Ching sling. Their Ching sling, they don't make it with these Packmeyer hammerheads anymore because they don't make the hammerheads anymore. So if you can find one, or if you get their Wilderness sling, the Rhodesian sling, you can do that. So if we put that on with our sling, now we're down to 7 pounds 5 ounces, but we're not done yet. Let's talk about this bipod. So have you ever actually used the bipod in the field? I have. I'm one of the few people that I know who actually has used it. Most of these things get used at the range, or sitting around a campfire, or just showing your friends how cool your rifle is because it has a bipod. But nobody actually uses the thing because it's fairly flimsy and it bends the wrong way. So most people don't ever use it, and if you're not going to use it, get rid of it. Because frankly, instead of a bipod, it'd be just as easy to rest the rifle on your backpack. So you drive out the bipod pin, then the bipod itself slides right off. Put the pin back in. And now where are we at? We're already under 7 pounds. We're down to 6 pounds, 12.9 ounces. We have lost over a pound just by going with 2 lighter weight components and removing our bipod. And you can hunt like this, you can shoot like this. The only downside is you've got some sharp edges up here and back here, but you're gonna find that the gun handles better. Not only is it lighter weight, it doesn't feel so stinking big up in the forend. It makes those snapshots just that much easier because of how fast handling it is. So if you use it for a while and realize, I really don't need the bipod, 2 ways to deal with that. Number one, you can modify your existing bipod or your existing stock. And that's what I did with this stock. So with this stock, I removed the rail, I filled in everything with epoxy. I used JB Weld water weld, filled it all in, sanded it off with a belt sander to get everything nice and smooth. I added a couple sections of Picatinny rail. It still has the stock spacer system that it originally came with. It still has the original sockets, the Pachmayr sockets. This stock actually weighs more than this stock does right here. Pause it. So your other option, instead of modifying your existing stock, is to contact a company called gunpartscorp.com. And I've put links to all of this in the description section of this video. You go to gunpartscorp.com and search for Steyr stock. And you're gonna find that they offer a stripped Steyr Scout Rifle stock for $42. It's dirt cheap, but when they say stripped, they mean stripped. There's nothing. There's no button release. There is no cover under the buttstock. There's no side panel inserts. There's no recoil pad. There is no method for attaching a recoil pad. All of that you're going to have to address. Now, it turns out that the recoil pad is easy because Pachmayr decelerator pads in the medium size have the screw spacing that happens to be identical to what comes on the Steyr stocks. The stock spacer system has 2 screws, fits right in. Now you will need to use a spacer. I just used a 1/16 inch spacer and then the decelerator recoil pad. Fit right in there. Once you put them on, then just use a belt sander to contour the pad so it fits up nice and snug like that. The more difficult part is going to be the sling swivels. Now, you've got the holes for 5 of these Pachmayr sockets. Well, you only need 3 of them unless you're going to be switching from right to left hand. But the problem is finding them. So Pachmayr doesn't make these anymore. Millet doesn't make them anymore. They're really hard to find. Andy from Andy's Leather had a few of them, and I bought 3. He may still have them. You can contact him. If that doesn't work, I don't know what to tell you. You might look at the Grove Tech sockets. Now, the Grove Techs are a different type of socket altogether, and apparently they are slightly larger in diameter, so it's going to take a little bit of modification, but it shouldn't be too hard. But I was able to find it. Then I used the JB Weld to fill in some of these gaps and sharp places. I didn't fill in all of the holes though. I just kind of left those open. Then I used a belt sander to take off all the plastic, round it off, contour it all nicely. With this is a minimalist stock. If you put this stock on your action, something pretty cool happens. So let me pull this stock out again. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Again, drive your pin out. drive these in real tight, so go nice and easy. But when I did this, I thought I was going to be able to do it. I knew it would be close, but I thought it would make it. So get this back together here. Put our screws back in. I'm not going to tighten those down right now. I just want to get it in so you can see what this ends up doing. Put our pin back in. All right, let's see what that did to our weight. So we have the gun, the scope, the empty magazine, and our sling comes in at 6 pounds, 9.8 ounces. Or if we switch that over to kilograms, we're under 3 kilograms. We just made grail weight with a Steyr Scout Rifle. And it didn't take all that much. It's not terribly difficult to do any of this. Now, about this shortened barrel, I mentioned that this one's, my gun's gonna weigh less than yours, but I'm also using a heavier scope. If you switch this out to the fixed power loophole 2.5 power scope, you're gonna be able to do it with your Scout Rifle. And the difference in handling between a 3 kilogram rifle and a 3.5 kilogram rifle is pretty dramatic. This thing handles like I can't even believe. It is a dream to carry. It's a lot of fun to shoot. So give it a try with your rifle. Start off just modifying your existing gun. You don't have to make any permanent alterations, but give it a try. You're going to be really surprised at how much it changes it. And my prediction is once you play with that for a while, you're going to want to do this to it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and if you have any questions or comments, please put them down in the bottom and I will be happy to answer whatever I can. Thanks for watching.